And with that, I'm going to hand it off to Terri Camesano, Graduate Studies.
Thank you so much, Art. So that's a really hard one to follow. I promise I will not inspire you in the next few minutes. So as a complement to what all of you have been doing with the classes this fall, I wanted to tell you a little bit about some of the complementary things that we are doing for graduate students outside of their academics and their research. So our graduate students are still very much looking for ways to connect with the community, and at the top of their mind is what am I going to do when I get through this? So their career and professional development is very, very important to them. And we just wanted to make sure that that still continued even during the pandemic. Next slide, please, Rachel. So everything I'm showing here today is the work of Assistant Dean of Graduate Studies, Rory Flynn. He really did an amazing job of moving all of our programming online, really since March. One of the things that has been going very well for us is that we're doing much better at promoting our graduate students in applying for and receiving the NSF GRFP. So I think our WPI undergraduates are very natural candidates for this. If someone goes to WPI and does an MQP and IQP, they're so competitive when they go to graduate school to be able to receive this prestigious fellowship. For a while, we didn't have very many of our graduate students applying for or receiving the fellowship, and that's really been changing recently. And it's been through a partnership where I'm calling out Catherine Woodington here, but we have a lot of faculty that volunteer their time, that mentor a grad student one-on-one through their application process to make sure they get really good feedback on their application before they submit it. And actually, in the past few years, we've had quite a lot of success. Math has always been a leader in getting NSF fellowships, but we also have them now in learning science and BCB and chemical engineering and in other programs. So that's been very important for us. Next slide, please. I know many of you have probably done team dynamics seminars. We had a very fun program that Rory Flynn organized with Anne Ogilvie, where you can tell your strengths and relate it to a Star Wars character. So I think many of us have done this before. And I think with the WPI community, it was very well received to then go find out which Star Wars character you are. So I was really pleased that I was Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'm gonna try to figure out how to use that in my own professional development going forward. Next slide, please. And then finally, we also try to do some fun things with students. So students who are here and students who are not here. As you probably know, we're really proud that we have so many Fulbright scholars come to WPI every year. This year, they were not all able to come in person, and we didn't do our usual field trip to the Boston seaport that we like to do. So instead, what we did was a virtual event, a recipe exchange. I think the students really took a lot of pride in this. Some of them made videos of themselves preparing the food. They all had personal stories about what this food means to them and how it's a part of their culture. And I've been having a lot of fun since then, trying out all of the various recipes. Last slide, please. And so finally, I wanted to have a student here today so that you could meet a graduate student and hear a little bit from how they're doing. But we have a video of one of our Fulbright scholars, and he just has a very short message of thanks for the community.
Hello, I'm Mohammad Hamaduddin. I'm a Fulbright PhD student at ECE from Pakistan at WPI. I'm really thankful for my PhD advisor, Dr. Brown, and graduate department, Ms. Terri and Dr. Flynn Rory, because of their extreme support, especially when my supervisor left me. So that is the best thing I have at the WPI. I'm really thankful for them. Thank you.
Thank you. And I know that was a little quiet. That was one of our Fulbright scholars from Pakistan. He's a student in the ECE department, and he was just saying how much he really appreciates all of the WPI community. And that is all I have. So now I will be turning it back over to Wole.